They say the wild is ruled by instinct, cold, ruthless, and unforgiving. But what if that's only part of the story? Today, you'll witness a moment that defies everything we thought we knew about wolves and about ourselves. If you're someone who believes that animals feel, that nature speaks in silence, and that even a wild heart can love, then this story is for you. Stay with us till the end, and if you love stories that touch the soul, don't forget to subscribe. This is Love Nature and Animals. It was nearly dawn. The first light of morning seeped through the trees like a whispered promise that another day had begun. Officer Ryan Callahan was nearing the end of his night patrol, driving along the quiet, frost-covered roads that cut through the edge of the northern forest. He had taken this route dozens of times. It was calm, predictable, a rural road where the most unusual thing he'd ever encountered was a broken-down tractor. But that morning would be different. As Ryan turned around a bend, he saw something unusual in the distance, something standing still in the middle of the road. He slowed down. At first, he thought it might be a deer or maybe even a large stray dog. But as he got closer, the shape became clearer. It was a wolf, a lone gray-furred wolf with tired eyes that glowed faintly in the headlights. But it wasn't snarling. It wasn't growling or running away like wolves usually do when they encounter humans. It was just standing there, and then it did something strange. It took a step forward. Ryan instinctively reached for his radio, but something about the wolf's posture stopped him. It wasn't threatening. If anything, it looked desperate. Its breathing was heavy. One of its front legs seemed slightly injured. It limped as it stepped forward, but its eyes never left Ryan's. Then it turned away. Slowly, walked a few steps toward the woods, then paused and looked back, almost like it was saying, "Follow me." Ryan blinked. "Am I losing it?" he thought. But something in his gut told him to listen. He turned off the engine, grabbed a flashlight and his first aid kit, and cautiously followed. The wolf didn't run. It kept glancing back, limping slightly, but moving with purpose. Ryan followed it through the brush, stepping over roots and ducking under low-hanging branches. The early morning fog swirled around them like ghostly breath. Then the wolf stopped, and what Ryan saw made his stomach twist. There, under a fallen log, was a young wolf pup, no older than a few months. Its leg was caught in a cruel metal trap, one of those illegal ones meant to kill, not capture. The pup wasn't moving much. Its breathing was shallow. It had probably been there all night. And the wolf, the adult, had gone to find help. Not food, not a pack, but a human. Ryan dropped to his knees. The pup whimpered faintly. Carefully, he loosened the trap's rusty teeth. The moment the pup was free, the adult wolf stepped forward, nuzzling it gently, then turning its eyes back to Ryan. Not with fear, but with gratitude. Ryan looked at the pup, now lying limp in his arms. He could feel its tiny heartbeat, weak but still there. "Hang on, little one," he whispered. He gently wrapped the pup in a thermal blanket from his kit, placing it close to his chest to conserve heat. The adult wolf sat just a few feet away, watching with those intelligent, soulful eyes. There was no growl, no warning, no fear. In that moment, there was something shared between them. Not words, but something deeper. A silent understanding. A common thread between a father and a protector, human or not. Ryan reached into his radio. "Dispatch, this is Officer Callahan. I've got an injured animal in need of immediate assistance. I'll be transporting it to the Wildlife Center." The drive to the Wildlife Center was quiet. Ryan placed the pup in the passenger seat, still wrapped in the blanket. The wolf, the adult, had followed them to the road's edge and then simply stopped. It didn't try to enter the car. It didn't make a sound. It just stood there, watching. Even as Ryan's vehicle disappeared down the road, the wolf didn't move, like it trusted him. At the clinic, the vets worked quickly. The pup was malnourished, dehydrated, and had lost a lot of blood from the wound. But with fluids, warmth, and care, it began to stabilize. Ryan stayed by the pup's side that morning. He asked the vet, "Do wolves normally do that? I mean, come to people for help?" The vet smiled quietly. "No, not unless..." It really had no other choice. That wolf knew you wouldn't hurt it. Somehow, it knew you'd help. Over the next several days, the pup remained at the center. Ryan would stop by after every shift to check in, bringing scraps, talking to it gently, sometimes just sitting there, watching it breathe. And each time he left the clinic, he noticed something. Out there, just at the edge of the forest bordering the facility, a gray shape, barely visible between the trees. The adult wolf. It had stayed. It never came close, never approached the building, but it waited, watched, every day. On the 10th day, the pup finally stood on its own. Still a bit wobbly, still weak, but alive. Ryan asked the vet, "Can it survive in the wild again?" The vet nodded. "It needs a bit more time, but yes, and if we do release it, it should go back to its pack." Ryan smiled faintly. "I think I know where that pack is." They made a plan. That afternoon, under a pale winter sun, Ryan drove the pup, now stronger, alert, and eager, back toward the edge of the woods. He opened the carrier door slowly. The pup hesitated, sniffed the air, then stepped out. It took a few tentative steps toward the forest, and then froze. And from the trees, the adult wolf emerged. Its eyes locked onto Ryan one last time. Then it walked forward. The pup yelped in joy and ran to it. The reunion was quick, wild, full of tail wags and soft growls. Then, they both turned and vanished into the trees. Ryan stood there for a long while. The forest had gone quiet again. But inside him, something had changed. He'd been a cop for over a decade. He'd seen cruelty, violence, apathy, not just in people, but sometimes in the world around him. But this moment reminded him that life still had wonder, that trust could be built between species, that even the most feared creatures of the wild could show love, desperation, and hope. A wolf came to him for help, not because it was weak, but because it loved, and Ryan would carry that with him, long after the forest had swallowed them whole. In a world where we often forget the beauty of connection, one wolf reminded us that love knows no species. And sometimes, the wild comes to us, not with claws, but with hope. Sometimes the most powerful stories come without words. A wolf's silent plea, a human's quiet kindness, and a bond that needed no translation. If this story moved you, inspired you, or made you believe a little more in the magic of nature, hit that subscribe button and join our journey. We share real stories from the heart of the wild every week, because here on Love Nature and Animals, we believe in the beauty of connection. Thank you for watching. See you in the next story.